Welcome to the Bomb Shelter. I am your host this time, J. Mutant Scorpion McDowell. With me is my co-host, Kevin, Flesh-Eating Cockroach Schumm. And we have a very special guest. First time on here. Probably the first time he'll ever listen to the show. Tim.
Howdy.
Since we're the only two people that listen to this usually, Tim is my son. And he has actually watched many of these movies, whether he wanted to or not.
Yep.
He just hasn't wanted to record any of this. I get the feeling he didn't want to be part of this, but, you know.
No evidence.
We forced him. So, our movie today
is from 1977.
Damnation Alley.
Multiple warhead strike confirmed. Retaliatory strike on advisement.
Hostile missiles heading to major U.S. population targets. Launch retaliatory missiles. All enemy targets.
You have seen great adventures. Now you're about to live one. Damnation Alley. Everything man remembers is gone. Everything he has achieved is forgotten. Every place he has lived has become a wasteland, desolate, barren. And these 5 survivors may be the only humans left alive. Together, they will attempt a journey into the unknown. Only their courage and the instinct to live could carry them safely through the hell that lies ahead. The devastation of man. And the mutations of nature gone wild. And somehow, they must endure this journey through the nightmare of what we once knew as Earth. Somehow they must survive this journey through Damnation Alley. Starring Jan Michael Vincent, George Peppard, Dominique Sander, Paul Winfield, Jackie Earl Haley. Produced in the magic of Sound 360. More than a motion picture, an adventure you'll never forget.
That was the trailer for Damnation Alley. What turned out to be a rather good movie.
Kind of good movie, yeah.
We're kind of losing our touch with the bad movies here. We've got to watch some awful movies.
We just kind of assumed it would be bad.
Yeah, we thought so. So, before we go, though, I have some exciting news.
Okay.
We have comments.
Oh.
We have never had comments in the 2 years we've been doing this. Yeah. One, Brandon Bartlett. His name sounds familiar. Well, it might be because he's my wife's niece's husband, so that would make him my nephew-in-law? Yeah, something like that.
Also, it would make
him nephew-in-law. There we go.
Yeah, it would also make him our favorite listener.
There we go. Listener number 1. You are number 1 now, Brandon. Back on our video for what was it? The Christmas one. Married by Christmas.
Yeah.
It was so bad I forgot the name. He says, Santa Girl on Netflix. No chance you'll make it. Worst Christmas movie ever.
Like that's a challenge, right?
As a challenge.
Okay.
And I think we replied, sounds like a challenge for next Christmas.
Okay.
So there we go. There's our first comment. Woo!
Yay!
Woo! Okay, so that's it.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, well, now that we got a little housekeeping out of the way and celebrated our first official comment.
Yes.
Damnation Alley. Okay, so a little bit about it.
So Damnation Alley is what's the word? How do you say it? We do this every January.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I guess we should say it's our annual January end of the world post-apocalyptic.
So yes, this is
a
post-apocalyptic world. In this post-apocalyptic world,
how much have you had to drink, Kevin?
Just cream soda. A group of survivors travel to find other settlements in a huge custom-designed all-terrain vehicles, it says.
Yeah. Well,
Although most of the
technically
movie-
there were vehicles.
There were for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, there's a motorcycle.
One shot
That's
at
true.
another one.
So,
So, you know.
so there are two. And they're probably wearing tennis shoes at some point.
Yeah.
So-
So yeah, this is a post-apocalyptic, I can't say it,
Post-apocalyptic.
movie, just is what we've been doing for the past few years.
Yeah.
It's just a good time to do this, and there's plenty to choose from, and usually they end up being kind of bad.
Yeah, in this case, it kind of blew up in our face, and it actually turned out to be really good.
Yeah.
So, so the gist of it is, survivors, there's a big nuclear, now I can't talk.
no, you can't talk.
And I'm having cherry limeade. A nuclear war, and the survivors are from an Air Force base out in the middle of the Mojave Desert, and they, place accidentally gets
Yeah.
incinerated by a cigarette falling onto a bunch of playboys.
You know what is weird? We saw the missiles on their screen coming, but did they ever identify who the enemy was?
I think it was just assumed since it was 77, we're in the
Probably
middle of the Cold War,
Russia.
and the missiles were coming over
Yeah.
the way they would, coming over the North Pole.
Yeah.
So I guess it was just kind of an
I
assumption.
assume so too. I just was thinking, I don't think they actually said it. But that's
No,
probably...
my question when it was going on was what precipitated it.
Yeah.
You know, like in the day after you get all the news reports
Yeah.
leading up to, there's tensions between the countries and stuff, and in a lot of other movies you get that premise. In this one it was just they go to work and they lob nukes at us.
Yeah.
So but yeah, hijinks ensue when they finally have to leave the place because it gets burnt down to the ground.
Yeah.
And they're trying to reach Albany because for some reason they received word that there was possibly settlement in Albany.
Well, I think they have that recording. Remember, he says that recording is
Yeah.
played every day or every week at the same time.
Weekly, yeah, for 2 years.
And they assume that it's just a recording that's like automatic, but
Yeah.
just in case they figure, let's go find
Yeah,
it.
because the thought was that they somebody would have had to have started it.
Yeah, yeah.
So there we go, and
Thanks for joining us.
yeah, we don't have a lot bad to say about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
It starts off slow, I can say that.
It does.
I was really worried there, like maybe the first 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, because we go through the day-to-day.
You're in a
kind of
military
stuff.
base, people doing nothingness on
Yeah,
computers.
yeah,
and
pretty much.
walking
Stuff that
around.
looked familiar to me.
I will say it was kind of calm though while everything was happening too.
Yeah.
If you noticed it a little bit too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like they were like totally taken off guard by it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's funny is when it did happen, in a lot of these movies it shows they get the word that nukes have been launched. And there's in missile silos there's two guys because you don't want one guy with a key
Yeah.
setting it off, and they have to synchronize the
Yeah.
turn the keys. But they didn't look too upset about it at first.
Yeah.
They were just kind of like, okay,
Yeah. I mean, it almost looked, they looked about as calm as if they were doing some sort of like test or practice or something.
like a practice thing. But then Jan Michael Vincent did,
Yeah.
which I guess we haven't mentioned who was in the movie, which
Oh, yeah, we should
is
do that.
part of the reason why it's good.
Yeah, I know. So we've got, we should actually, we're a little bit discombobulated.
yeah, we're
So Jan Michael Vincent, known for many things, but mostly Airwolf in my world.
yeah. So, I knew him before.
George Ripard, also known for many things, but in
the
my
A-Team.
world, the A-Team. Dominique Sanda, who
That was
the only girl in
woman.
the movie.
Yeah, the only live one. Yeah.
Yeah. I looked her up, and I actually don't think I've seen anything else that she's ever been in.
The name wasn't familiar at all.
Yeah.
How about you? You
I mean, this was all before me, so
yeah,
you know,
before you were alive.
I know all these people, best friends.
Paul Winfield was Keegan. He's sort of the, he was like a little bit less, I don't know, like George Ripard in this movie is very like by the book. Jan Michael Vincent's of course a little bit crazy. Paul Winfield he looks super familiar.
Well, Paul Winfield's been in a lot of stuff.
I think he was in,
I can't name any
Yeah.
of it right now. But the black actor, when you see him, you'll know.
you'll recognize him.
You'll
Yeah.
recognize him. But yeah, he's an SP, a security police, and artist,
Yes.
and that's what he does.
And he's also the Oprah of the of the thing, handing out guns too.
Oh yeah.
You get a gun, and you get a gun.
And Jackie Earle Haley, who I recognize him. He's a kid in this movie.
Yeah.
I recognize him, but then I realized, I've seen him in a lot of stuff recently. So I think he kind of had a child career and then kind of
I think he started off as a child actor. We do have IMDb here. We could actually look at it.
No, I'm doing all this off the top of my head.
Well,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, Tim. I knew he was in Watchmen. Just now.
He's Rorschach.
That did not look like it said Shutter Island, and I won't say what it looked like it said.
Yeah.
Let's just say Randy Quaid.
He was Freddy Krueger in the new reboot of Nightmare on Elm Street, which I saw it. I don't remember if I liked it or not. He's in a movie called Little Children, which I haven't seen. And he's in Watchmen, and he was Rorschach.
Rorschach, which he had a mask on, so you didn't see him. He
Yeah.
was in Alita Battle Angel. Huh. Okay. So he's been in a
He's
couple
been
things.
a lot recently, actually.
Of course, while I was watching it, I kept thinking of his name. I couldn't remember it. So I'm like, Haley Joel Osment. And,
I know, me too.
And, Earl Ray Bailey. And,
This is like a 3-name, just him and Jan Michael Vincent.
that didn't work.
So there's 2 people.
Not exactly a plethora.
But not a lot of people in this movie. There's a few main characters, and everyone else is one of those show up for a minute or less type person.
We did start off with more people.
Oh yeah.
Actually, not so much in the base. In the base we had a lot of background people doing background things. But we also had Kip Niven, who was Perry, who was, after everything goes to pieces, George Peppard is still very much by the book, very military. Kip Niven, same thing. He was he was a first lieutenant. And then you had Paul Winfield and Jan Michael Vincent, who were much more, they just it was like after everything blew up, they just didn't care about regulation and stuff.
Yeah.
And, of course, poor Kip.
Yeah. The only other person I recognized by seeing him was General Landers, played by Murray Hamilton, who I think is probably best known as the mayor.
The mayor of
Jaws.
Emily. Yeah.
The guy who doesn't
who
want to
won't
stop.
close it down. Who won't close the beach down.
Yeah. So, but then we've got it directed by Jack Smite, who I had seen a few of his movies, but I was really surprised and happy to see that he directed 4 episodes of the original Twilight Zone series.
Did you find out which ones?
I did, and let me see if it will let me look him up here. But I do realize that one of the episodes he's directed was one of my least favorite. It's not showing me there, but he did. He did 4 episodes. There was one season of Twilight Zone where they did it on actual videotape instead of film, and it looks kind of weird.
Yeah.
The stories are still okay, but
it does look weird. It looks like a soap opera.
But yeah, it looks like a soap opera. And there's this one episode I really hate. I think it's called Night of the Meek. It's about a Santa Claus, a store, a Santa Claus that would be in a department store. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember what happens because I hate that episode. But he did a few episodes. He did a few episodes I really liked. But anyway, I was surprised to see that.
Cool.
Long-time director, though, did lots and lots of movies, all the way back to the 50s and 40s even.
Wow.
So there's that. And then I just closed it. So, and then written by, so this was actually apparently a short story, Damnation Alley, and then a novel.
It was like a short story in 67, and then 69 was the novel.
Yeah. And the guy who wrote the novel did a few things, but Damnation Alley is one of the most popular. So
does this man have a name?
Yes, his name would be Roger Zelazny. You do it.
Zelazny. There we go.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Zelazny.
Yeah. But written by written by him, and then screenplay written by a guy named Alan Sharp and someone else named Lucas Heller.
Okay.
So I don't know if we need to necessarily go into them, but
no.
I was surprised to find that this was a fairly good story, and it wasn't complex at all. It's basically, hey, I think the world's gone to crap. There might be some people across the country. Let's go find out.
Let's get over there. Yeah. Kind of almost Omega Man.
Yeah.
Last Man on Earth kind of thing.
Yep.
Where he thinks he's the last person. They think they're the last people.
Yeah.
And they keep coming across other people.
Yeah.
and it led to some questions like when they're in Vegas, how is the power still going?
Yeah.
And how is the gas not all gone bad?
Yeah.
Over 2 years, but little things like that.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. So do we go into a little more detail of the story then? Maybe
Yeah,
some
yeah.
little things. So yeah, they're starting out in. It seems like. I mean, this thing was literally filmed in Utah, California, Arizona, Montana, even I believe.
Montana, yeah.
Yeah. But they're starting somewhere more on the western United States.
Well, yeah, they're up near Barstow because they mentioned Barstow.
Yeah, he mentions.
And the Air Force Base they mentioned isn't a real base, but as we saw in there, Edwards Air Force Base is about 50 miles from Barstow.
Yeah,
So
that's probably
but Edwards would not have looked like the base they were at because it's got a lot of big secret stuff going on too.
Yeah.
But it started. That's what surprised me. Is one of the things that surprised me is how many different places they went to. Because I mean, I guess they had a budget, but still, there's not a lot of sets.
Yeah.
You got the base, the interior base, and that's just blinky lights and tape drives.
Yeah.
And then you've got the rig, which apparently they blew the whole budget on because that gets a lot of screen. That gets more screen time than any of the actors.
Yeah.
Then you've got you've got Vegas.
Yeah.
Which,
Inside
you've been
the
to
little
Circus.
casino.
I haven't been to Circus. Did it look like that inside?
So I don't know if that was how it looked back as far as that time frame that this
Yeah.
was shot, because that was a little, a little bit before
Little
me.
more
So, but as far as the circus sign on the actual building itself, that was correct.
Yeah,
the
that's
tent
so-
itself, I'm not too sure of though.
Does Circus have slots in it and stuff?
Yes, so it is a full casino.
But
It's
it has a kids area.
Yes, so there's the tent, or also called the Dome, is more of the kids area. It's basically like a mini amusement park. Has rides, has roller coasters, has bumper cars, mini golf, stuff like that. And you're kind of able to leave your kids there while you go gamble if you want.
Yeah.
Well, I think they tried. Obviously, it wasn't the exact inside, but I think what they were trying to do, because there was like carousel horses and stuff like that. So I think they were trying to indicate in a smaller area that this is circus, and there's gambling and rides.
The one thing for me that actually pointed out that this and made it to where I can identify that this was Circus was that sign on the outside of the building.
Yeah.
Because that's the same font and everything that they actually used.
They said, "Hey, it's Circus."
Besides that, I'm saying from looking at the screen and actually looking into something.
But it was a very small section of Vegas, apparently.
Yeah, I know.
It's a very sad version.
Yeah.
So Vegas. They also went to Salt Lake City, right?
Salt Lake City, which that was impressive. I mean, it looked like a lot, like a back lot, because I couldn't imagine they'd get that much of a city to, let us trash your town.
Yeah.
And then the shack where they find Billy.
Yeah. It was like some sort of ghost town looking thing.
It looked like just a not even a ghost town. Well, yeah, because there were a few.
There are a few buildings.
buildings, and then where they found the hillbillies.
Yeah.
And blew them up.
Yeah.
And then Albany.
Yeah.
So there were people, but there weren't. The Albany thing, it was just Jan Michael Vincent riding a motorcycle down streets. That could be anywhere.
Yeah.
The buildings, the ones they didn't blow up, could have been out in. That could have been Arizona. And stuff, and then the lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of the outside you could recognize, if you know it, you could recognize the parts that were in Arizona and Utah. But other than that, there wasn't really.
Yeah.
It is a very basic movie, very simple in production as well as in storyline and everything. What else? What other parts of the movie?
Well, we've got the kind of the enemies in the movie would be kind of the random weather that comes from time to time. There's storms.
Yeah, that's
you
a
have
constant.
Giant scorpions crawling around the desert. Although they didn't seem to have much of a problem.
They could.
That was almost kind of
them.
fun. He was just Jan Michael Vincent's riding his
Yeah,
motorcycle.
it was more like just kind of
Avoid
just kind
them.
of set dressing.
Yeah,
you know? And then the
cockroaches.
cockroaches. Yeah,
That was really impressive to me, and kind of scary.
it was a nice touch. Did you notice everything that was either rubber or material?
Yes.
and
Yeah.
of course
Was
Flesh
gone.
was gone.
Exactly. Yes.
Because I thought when he first pulls up there and he picks up the gas pump and the hose is gone, I thought maybe whoever's running it took the hose off so the
Yeah.
people weren't coming and stealing.
Yeah.
And
no, it's the rubber.
yeah, because then you can figure out, oh, they're eating
They're
anything
eating everything.
soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
they mentioned that. I mean, there's some skeleton. There's some remains of people's skeletons, and he mentions they look like they've been polished.
Yeah.
The bones. And,
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
They were picked clean, basically.
From these, but they're pretty creepy. I mean, they get to the town, everything seems kind of normal, and then they start coming out, and I mean, it's not the best special effects ever, but not bad also.
Yeah. Yeah. Given the time and
Yeah.
the fact that Star Wars
Came out the same year.
It came out
didn't
the same year. Probably had a little bit bigger budget.
Yeah.
But you know, we've seen other movies that have come out around that time or just after.
Yeah.
And they're horrible.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Star Crash.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was actually pretty good.
And kind of scary too. I mean, kind of creepy.
Yeah.
They were
Especially
actually, like chewing on skin. The one character, what's his name again?
Paul Winfield's character.
Yeah. Keegan. He gets killed by them. Just eaten alive, basically.
Yeah, and he tries to step on it. And
Yeah.
it makes a little tink sound.
Yeah, they're like armored
yeah, they're
plated
like
or
armored.
something.
And they hiss. They're those Madagascar hissing
Yeah.
cockroaches, which are
Yeah.
creepy.
Let's see.
What else do you remember?
Also, that the water scene too, where for some reason they thought that it was clearing up, although yet water was still going over the top of the buggy itself.
No, Billy said the sky looked clear.
Well, he said we should open up the hatch. It looks like the sky's clearing up as water was still going over them completely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
So it's like it may be clearing up, but this is not time to open the hatch.
Not
Well,
yet.
my thing was they couldn't get the hatch open. Then he's like, "Well, get the crowbar." It's like you don't want to mess up the mechanism.
Now you won't be able to shut it.
Yeah. You had a nice big hole there.
Yeah. But let's see what else we got here. It's hard. It's kind of hard when the movie isn't bad because then you get involved in the movie and you stop thinking of like, oh, I can pick on that.
Yeah,
later
you don't
on.
look for things to
Yeah,
pick
we're
on.
not really filling in any holes.
Yeah.
I will say like we said, the beginning of the movie was kind of slow.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like monos driving.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the sky too was a little bit odd, I would say. Even though it was after you guys explained what it was meant to
Yeah.
be, it still just kind of looked a little strange.
Well, and I had to read that too.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have been like, well, I don't know. But I don't know if other movies copied that design.
Yeah.
But a lot of post-apocalyptic movies after that would have the weird skies
Yeah.
and stuff. And
Looked
so
pretty neat.
it was pretty cool. Well, what I was saying is that we said the beginning was a little slow. I thought the end was almost like, uh-oh, we're out of film.
Yeah.
We need to wrap this up quick.
Yeah. Like, what can we do?
Yeah, because all of a sudden there's the tidal wave that hits them in Detroit and sends them floating, and then all of a sudden they're on the ground. They open up, the sky's blue,
Yeah.
and they're on the ground, and they get a signal from Albany, and they're 17 miles from Albany.
Yeah.
And then he rides his motorcycle, boom, the end.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah. It ended very quickly and started very slowly.
Yeah. And from what I read, basically, it's explained that the Earth's axis was tilted, which caused the aurora to be down so low
Yeah.
and the storms and everything. And basically, once they get to Albany, by that time, the Earth's axis has readjusted.
Yeah.
And that's why everything looks fine.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, okay, first off, how long were you in that thing
Yeah.
driving cross country? And second, how come their little town doesn't look like it was
Touched.
decimated at
Yeah,
all?
it looks perfect.
I mean, I know that in the beginning when they were telling where the bombs were hitting, they mentioned New York, and I'm not sure how far Albany is from New York. I think it's
Yeah.
fairly far away.
Yeah.
But you'd still think that there'd be some like three-headed kids or something.
Yeah.
you know?
Something. I mean, yeah. If those giant scorpions were
Right
near
there.
Barstow, you'd probably have to worry about them.
Yeah, about other weird mutated things.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, I'm debating if we should talk about the real star of the movie before or after the break,
Well, let's do
or should we
after? the break, yeah.
Okay, let's do that. So we will talk about the best part of this movie,
Our favorite part.
our favorite part, the part we've been thinking of for decades.
43 years.
Yes.
42, 43.
Right after this break.
Yay, break time.
Осенняя пора, одинокий парк, ветер перемен там веет, и зашумит листва.
And welcome back. We hope you enjoyed that little break, whatever may be in it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's always a surprise.
I know. It's always a surprise for me, too.
So welcome back, Kevin. Welcome back, Jim.
Just thought I might say something there. It's been a while since I said something.
All right. Yeah, that was nice. So we've gone over the gist of the movie and everything. What we would like to talk about now is our favorite part of this movie.
Yep.
The star, the legendary Landmaster of Damnation Alley.
Yes, the 12-wheeled Landmaster vehicle used in the film was created by Jeffries Automotive in Universal City, California. Despite the appearance of two Landmasters, only one was built at the cost of $300,000. And what was the budget of this movie? Let me find out.
17 million.
17 million. Okay, I was going to say.
Jeez.
Still.
Now I want to know what 300,000 was in
Was back then.
Yeah.
It's probably a lot. That's an expensive.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, but the Landmaster is powered by a 395 cubic inch Ford industrial engine, fully functional, fully custom built tri-star wheel alignment, which could actually help it crawl over boulders. It was also had an innovative steering mechanism that guided the vehicle not by the front wheels, but by bending the middle section with hydraulic rams to affect the turn. That's pretty awesome.
So the whole thing bent.
And that would turn it.
Oh, that would make sense.
That was like those buses that you see in Vegas that
Yeah.
have that bungee in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, especially since it didn't have an axle on the front that could turn.
The Landmaster's bodywork was made with 3/8 inch steel plating, which helped it tip the scales at over 10 tons. Jeez. It was so tough, in fact, that it survived a 25-foot jump during testing with no damage. Once filming was completed in 1976, the Landmaster sat outside Jeffries Automotive, where it was built, for over 25 years, occasionally being used for television series and commercials. In 2005, it was purchased by a collector in Sacramento, California, and restored. After making local car show appearances, the Landmaster was vandalized while in storage, and then sold to legendary automotive customizer Gene Winfield as of 2019, which is pretty close to right now.
Yeah. Just last month.
Yes. The original Landmaster is alive and well and is available for public viewing at Gene Winfield's custom shop in Mojave, California, which is how many miles? Like maybe an hour and something away from us?
It'll probably be about 2 hours away.
2 hours
Yeah, it's
away.
about 100 miles north of LA.
Yeah.
So we're going on a road trip soon.
And we're going to eat at Astro Burger.
So this just in. Yes, we will eat at Astro Burger. This just in. The movie in today's money would have been $71,718,960.40.
Wow.
As the budget?
The budget in today's money. Okay, come on, work with me.
Landmaster.
The Landmaster,
Being at
which was
300,000
in 77. Well, I put 77, so would have been $1.3 million to build.
Okay.
So yeah, not cheap.
Not cheap. It's pretty awesome though, and
It
it's
is
still.
really
And
cool.
here we are, 40-something years ago,
yeah.
and it's still sitting around. People go and look at it.
Now,
so.
I almost wonder if that's where that, as seen on TV, cart that has those tri-wheels that's meant for going up and down stairs. I wonder if that's where they got the inspiration from. Because it's exactly the same wheels. It's meant for going up and down different terrains.
That's true.
Yes.
Good boy, Jim. Good dog.
I can add something, I told you.
Yeah, you can.
I just remember as a kid seeing it, because this is the first time I've seen the movie.
Yeah.
And seeing that and just loving it. And
Yeah.
in fact, in one of the scenes, in the flood scene, when it's floating, it's obviously a toy. And
I want that toy.
I looked at it and said, I want that.
Yep.
Because it looked really, I wonder if they did make any, I'm sure they made model kits of it.
Probably
especially
so.
after, because it kind of became an iconic.
Yeah.
Because it was in other movies too.
We should look on eBay and see if there's one available.
Yeah. Oh, what's Tim
And that
doing?
can be your
Looking stuff up.
your birthday present next
There we
year.
go. Yay. Jim.
So I know this is not the Landmaster.
and there it is.
And there it is. Nice. How much?
Let us see.
$1.3 million.
It's epic.
More than I want to also mention that there are the giant scorpions.
So
$144. Okay, I cannot get you that for your birthday. I'm
You
sorry.
sure?
Yeah.
Do you going on it together?
It looks really neat.
it
Really
does.
cool. I really want that.
Wow. I
Hey,
love
it's
that
got the
too.
missiles.
Come
Oh
on.
man, that's really neat.
I'm worth it.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can see the scale. Anyway,
So, yeah.
Well, let's talk about
So yeah, that was built. What I really would like to see also is the scorpions, the giant scorpions you see in the movie are just what's them called? Superimposed.
Yeah, they're real scorpions. That are
Real
superimposed.
scorpions made to look bigger, like crawling in the desert, but they're not really there.
And not the German band Scorpion.
Yeah, not those guys.
It's not
That would
Klaus
be
Meine.
giant German
Damnation
middleman. But apparently, originally they had built giant animatronic scorpions, and I would have really loved to see that. Like, I'd like to own one of those. Where did those go?
I don't know what would have been cheesier looking, because it was, given CGI effects now, it was cheesy looking.
Yeah.
But I don't know what would have been cheesier looking.
Yeah.
That or, giant moving forward and pinching.
See, here's the thing I just now thought of. Okay, so they aren't supposed to be. So, I mean, an animatronic scorpion might look cool, but I'm thinking like Landmaster cool. But these aren't supposed to be giant robot scorpions.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be actual
Mutated.
scorpions. So
Yeah,
they probably looked really bad.
It would wind up looking like Food of the Gods.
Yeah.
The giant ants.
Yeah.
Heads just going down.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And so that makes sense. But in my mind, I'm still thinking, like, I want to see giant robot scorpions.
they should put in like the special features or something
Yeah,
like
they
that.
should.
So at least you can see what it looks
That would
like.
be
Well,
nice.
I have a feeling that it also may have ended up like Bruce the Shark in Jaws.
Yeah.
Where they had so many problems with it in the water.
Yeah.
If they're doing that out in the desert,
Yeah.
all the sand getting into there.
Sand.
I mean, you think
That's
Anakin
true.
Skywalker hates
Yeah.
sand?
Well,
Producers
giant
of this
scorpions
movie.
eat sand more than that
because
Skywalker.
it gets everywhere.
It does.
I thought that was funny.
That was pretty funny. Okay, so any more Landmaster thing? I have one more weird comment that I just kind of popped into my head as I was thinking about this. But let's finish Landmaster first.
No, I think that. What did you think about it? You said, okay, from the point of view of this is the first time you've ever seen
it,
or
yeah.
heard of this.
Do you wish you owned the Landmaster?
Would you like one?
I will say I would like something like that. That would be very interesting. I don't know exactly how well that would go over on the freeway.
That's true.
Because
It would go over everything. On
Yeah.
the
well,
freeway.
that is true.
Traffic would
that
no
is
longer
true.
be an issue.
But you couldn't
is
drive
true.
from your house to his house on a tank of gas. You'd have to stop several times.
That is very true. Yes. Although that is one thing. Yes, they didn't even tell us. They asked about the gas, and he just kind of
Well, it was
turned away from it.
It was implied that don't ask about the
Oh,
gas.
yes, I
because they did keep mentioning we need to stop for fuel, but what the few times that they did, it looks like they never got any fuel.
Yeah, I did notice
know.
that. They said that we got to stop all the time, but they
Well,
never
because-
actually got fuel because the gas station they went to had the burned off. The hoses were
Yeah,
gone.
and they booked out of Salt Lake City. Mm-hmm. When they picked up Billy, they said maybe this place has got some gas. They excuse me, they got Billy and then talked to him for a little bit, but they never implied that they got any fuel. Detroit, they got parts because in a nice touch movie, J. Michael Vincent says, well, why are we going to Detroit?
Yeah.
Because there was a part that was starting to break down on the vehicle, and George Papar goes, that was designed to use standard truck parts,
Yeah.
so it makes it easy to repair.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, cool touch movie.
Yeah.
Going to Detroit where there's junkyards all over the place.
Yeah.
So yeah, nice touch. But I mean, it was pretty cool looking, neat design. Was there any problems you could see with it other than the hatch getting stuck?
I do see if it's meant to be more of a military vehicle or vessel of some sort.
Now I'm dropping bottles.
Good going. No. I will say though, if it was designed to be something more like that, I see the center of the actual Landmaster where it has the flex part. That is a very big weak spot then, potentially.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
We don't necessarily know how it was built, obviously, and I doubt the actual prop was built for it.
Yeah,
But,
I'm pretty sure it's implied that it wasn't just rubber.
I would
There's
assume.
probably some kind of armor in there.
I would assume, but also that it would be a weak spot because it's not
Yeah.
It's not stable as
any
far as that it
place-
has to move and
Yeah,
have
any place
joints.
that you have a break
Exactly.
in something that's a weak point.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, yeah, sounds
Pretty cool.
look great.
Yeah. What in the world?
I'm just looking at some of the photos from it.
By the way, that one that we looked up, it's 1/35th size.
That is not 1/18.
No, it's not.
I need a 1/18 size.
Oh.
Yep, it's 3
Or
pounds
a
though.
one.
It's 3 pounds though.
It's almost as much as the real one.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
So okay, well, so cool. That's about it for the Landmaster.
For the Landmaster. But the movie's worth, in my opinion, the movie is worth watching just to see that.
Just to watch
And
that
you get
in
to see a
action.
lot of it. That's most of the movie.
And it's an action. Yeah, it's not
It's
just
a real working thing.
yeah, it's not just they are inside and then okay, we got to get out, and then they're just standing outside.
Yeah,
You
it
see
works.
the doors open, the hatches open. You see it driving down the road constantly.
Although
So-
it is obviously not them driving, because you do see their quote unquote moving and steering the wheel.
Oh, I just mean the outside
Oh,
scenes when
yeah,
it's driving down roads. Oh yeah, they're doing the total. It's got a lot of play in the steering wheel
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
And apparently, even 14-year-old boys can drive it.
Yeah.
So.
Anyone that
Anyone.
asks us, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Why not? That hillbilly family had they been
Just don't ask about the gas though. That's
Yeah,
all.
don't ask about the gas. So, what was your weird thing?
Okay, so my weird thing is, we noticed towards the end, and there was a couple times, but it really hit me at the end. Jan Michael Vincent says something to Billy, is that his name?
Yeah, the kid.
Instead of saying like, using some bad language, he says like, what does he say?
Gosh darn.
Gosh darn, right?
And-
Which sounds really weird because the kind of guy Jan Michael Vincent is in the movie and in real life,
Yeah.
you would assume he'd use lots of four-letter words and stuff like
colorful
that.
language.
But the movie is rated PG. Okay, but there's also Playboy magazines in it with
On full display.
with naked women. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, okay, that doesn't fit with the PG. So why are they being so careful with the language but not being
Well,
careful with that?
PG-13 wasn't around then.
That's true.
And I think they could kind of get away with magazine
Because it's
type
not a
stuff.
real person.
It wasn't a real person.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they can do that with some animated things. Because there have been different animated ones that will have like a topless character or something like that. As
So
far as
what have we been watching, Tim?
there was
we
Bugs
need
Bunny
to have
ones
a
that
term?
had something like that.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, geez, I don't want to know.
Yeah,
what
the
you've
the
been
movie. No, the
watching.
movie set of the cartoons that you got me a long time ago. It's
yeah,
101.
that's
It
right.
has the naked lady in the window.
I do remember you
Yeah.
calling me and going, Dad,
Yeah.
should I be watching this?
I'm watching cartoons and a naked lady pops
Yeah,
up, and
well,
I'm like
yeah.
a little
But-
kid, so didn't know.
I think, because I was thinking this was maybe a TV movie.
Yeah.
Because I think of George Peppard and Jan Michael Vincent's TV.
TV
George
guys.
Peppard, though, I mean, he was in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah, he's in a lot.
Huge actor. But I was kind of thinking it was maybe a TV movie until the Playboy scene.
Yeah.
And because it's full on, I mean, it's not like they get right up, you know,
Yeah.
to the centerfold, but it's on display enough for you to see and
Yeah.
to see things. And but then the language, yeah,
Yeah.
that, and he says "son of a," and
Shoots 5 shots.
yeah, well, no, twice. It's used twice.
Oh no, I was saying he shot
When-
5 shots
when-
for each represented letter.
No. When Billy throws the rocks at Jan Michael Vincent, and he's like, "Ow!" and then he hits him again. He's like, "Son of a!" But he has enough time. It's not like he goes, "Son of a," and falls down into the,
Yeah.
goes back down. He says it, and there's plenty of time for him to finish the
Yeah.
thing. But then it just blanks out. So yeah, it's odd that one was one thing
Yeah, they
was
were
in and
careful.
one was
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if that's, I don't know how common that is, but
But it's got a PG rating, so what did get a theatrical release.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was before PG-13, and they could actually
Yeah.
have a little bit of nudity
Yeah.
in PG movies, but
Yeah.
I think there was it's kind of like,
Top only,
Be-
not
well-
like that.
no, it's kind of like with a movie getting a PG-13 versus an R. They can have so many F-bombs
Before
and
it
still be a
caps it.
PG-13, and
Yeah.
it's like 3. And once they hit 4, it's R.
Oh, that's right.
So maybe kind of that same thing. It might be photographs, they let it get away with, versus a real woman, jumping around and
Yeah.
flashing the goods.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so let's see here. Should we haven't done it in a while, but should we do good and bad and ugly? Or do we
Yeah.
have anything before we do good,
well,
bad,
do you
and
have
ugly?
anything?
No, I think at this point there'll be a great time to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, glad we have your okay here, Mister. I've never listened to the show before.
Sorry, what show are we on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Can we cut him out of this whole thing?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Good, the bad, and the ugly.
I can make his voice sound really funny every time he talks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like, welcome to my work
Oh,
all day,
yeah.
trust me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll let the guests go first. Good, the bad, and the ugly, as we explained to you. Find something good about the movie, which is usually easier with a bad movie.
Yeah.
This one's going to be a little tough. Something good about the movie, something bad, something ugly. So we'll go around first with the goods.
Yeah.
What was something good?
Something good
And
in
it can
this
be this. We can all have
We can
the
all
same thing.
we can all say the Landmaster because we're all going to.
Yeah, pretty much. I was to say the Landmaster was probably my favorite part of it.
Kevin,
Yes, the Landmaster.
Jay, Landmaster. No, I will add a little bit. It was a surprisingly well-made movie.
Yeah.
Effects-wise, it was, for the time, it was good.
Yeah.
Story was really, as kind of sparse as it was still
Yeah.
really entertaining.
It was entertaining. Except for that slow part at the beginning.
It didn't drag after that.
Remember at one point I said, this movie's almost over. I said that
Yes.
because I was thinking, I wish this movie wasn't almost over. That's what my thought was. It was like, wow, it's almost over.
And I was very surprised at the time you said that too. Cause
there was like 10 minutes left or something.
yeah,
when I
and
said
it
that.
seemed like they were at,
Never gonna-
it was just starting to open up on
Yeah.
this is what's actually kind of happening,
Yeah.
or this is what's going on right now, or
Yeah.
what they're coming up to.
Yeah. A
little bit more.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. Didn't look like they were about to wrap it up, so like
Good
he was
story.
stating.
Okay, so, bad.
That is a good one.
You can always say, I didn't find anything, although that makes it hard on ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
Okay, we'll come back around.
Yeah, you'll have to come back to me.
Okay. Bad. Before we watched this movie, I said several times, like at lunch, I said, I've been wanting to watch this movie for 40-something years, and I'm prepared to be completely disappointed. And I wasn't. So, like, even when now
that was bad?
Now that I
bad that you're not happy.
anytime
You're
I pick
not
on it,
happy.
I feel bad because I'm like, I was so surprised by how much better it was than I kind of thought it was actually going to be, that I feel bad picking on it at all because I'm so glad that it's good. But I would say there was a unintentionally funny part at the beginning where you're seeing the title, you're seeing who's in the movie, and you're kind of seeing their, like the bass, you're seeing like the computers and the screens, and the music's really, really intense.
Yeah.
And then the actual missiles come, and there's no music.
There's no music at all.
And it's like, why didn't they put that intense music when something intense is happening instead of when you're just like
Maybe it was
walking
just a
out?
handing
given
around
that nuclear war is intense and doesn't really
And
need
you
a
don't have to
soundtrack.
tell me that
Speaks
it's
for itself.
scary, yeah. So I guess that'd be my bad, but again, it's not
But you're-
really that
yeah,
bad.
you're having to reach
compared
for
to what
that.
this movie could have been, which would have been an hour and 30 minutes of bad.
Yeah.
It was. I can't even really complain.
Let's see. Bad for me.
If you got to think, I actually have mine. now.
Yeah.
Do you have yours? Okay, yeah, go for yours.
So my bad would be the scorpion scene when he's on the dirt bike racing around. Basically, that one. There's a couple times where I feel like he probably would have either went through where the
Yeah.
scorpion was, or at least clipped it. And it also kind of looked like he was just going in circles around them, not necessarily trying to escape
Yeah.
or do anything necessarily. He was just kind
Do
of
you think that was
driving around.
intentional, or do you think it was just we were seeing kind of a poorly filmed?
I think they
part?
were needing footage trying to show him going through the desert, getting away from the scorpions, and so they had him drive in circles and then place the scorpions in there, and they just didn't plan that out well enough to make it look like a different scenery going on.
It's kind of a second mention here of Star Crash. The cave scene in Star Crash where they're running one direction
And
and
then
then they run the other, and they just put the camera the other way.
Exactly, yes. It was
Well, it's
very
easy.
small space, but used multiple times.
Well, it's kind of
different
easy
angles.
to do though in the desert because he was on the dunes, and
That's
it's
true.
like if
Oh
you,
no, that's
if,
the wrong dune.
Yeah, if you block,
seen that dune
if you
before.
block in close enough, you're not really going to see. But if you pull out, it's like, well, that dune looks familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the problem I was having is since
That
they
makes
were trying to
sense.
pull out to show the scorpions, you were getting a lot of the other scenery, so you could start seeing, oh, that he's just crossed back over where he
Yeah.
just was, or there's tire tracks right there. Why is he
Yeah.
going back over
Yeah,
him, or something
yeah.
like that?
So now can I at least can I try
amend
to?
yours?
Yeah, I want to try to like support the movie. Not just to necessarily disagree, but I just want to say we all do. At least we two do this. I don't know if you do this. Sometimes when there's a movie I like, which today I found out I like this movie, I try to like make excuses for things that don't make sense.
You fill in the plot holes.
Yeah, so So I want to support the character and the actor JMV, Jan Michael Vincent,
Because you were like,
who,
this.
Yeah, you guys are
did,
buddies now.
who did most to all of his stunts in the motorcycle stunts in the movie. I think the character is such a kind of, not a goofy guy, but a fun kind of guy, that I think he would get to the point where he would just kind of like do circles around the Scorpions.
Just kind of.
I could see that. His
taunt them.
personality-wise, to taunt
Yeah,
them
just like,
or
yeah, watch what I
just
can do.
just hot dogging around. And
So but
taunting
that
them.
may or may not be true, but that's
Yeah.
in my brain. That's how I'm going to.
Well, because like we said, the Scorpions weren't really a threat.
They were
Yeah.
just there.
You know, they
Yeah,
weren't
just
fast. They
don't
weren't.
stop and get off your motorcycle.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was kind of
so-
like if you...
Whoa, hello.
Hi.
Our
We have
other
another
co-host.
guest
Hello,
now.
co-host Agatha. So, yeah, you know, the Scorpions weren't really a threat, so it was kind of like, well, you know, I'm just going to taunt them, you know, go around and tease them and stuff.
Okay, but now back to your bad.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, it's really hard to pull something for this.
Yeah.
I think the movie did a good job with exposition, given how little we knew of what was going on.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, why is the sky like this? You know,
Yeah.
well, actually, they didn't mention the sky. They mentioned the sky. They didn't really explain it.
Yeah.
But things like the scorpions, the cockroaches, certain things they did really good at explaining.
Yeah.
Other things they didn't, like the sky.
Yeah.
Why is it like this? Okay, we know there's storms.
Yeah.
And that's why they're going through this place called Damnation Alley. Is it's a pathway through the storms where it's not radiated
Yeah.
on either side or in this path.
Yeah.
But then we're not told what else is going on, or you know,
Yeah.
okay, well, if you go off that way, what's going to happen, or why is this guy like this, or the tilt to the axis. I mean, I had to read to find out that at the end, that's what happens is the Earth corrected its
Fixes
axis.
itself. Yeah.
It is kind of mentioned in some dialogue.
Yeah.
I think Jan Michael Vincent and Billy are talking to each other, and
He goes,
Jan Michael Vincent
yeah.
says something about being in a men's locker room. No, wrong movie.
Wrong.
No,
What movie you're talking about there?
Airplane.
Airplane.
No, he mentioned something about everything fixing it, correcting itself.
Yeah.
Billy goes, well, I don't think anything ever corrects itself, blah, blah, blah. Well, then, you know, it fixed itself.
Yeah.
So there was some parts where it was really good on explaining things, other parts where it wasn't.
Yeah.
And really, it's not a major nit to pick, because a lot of times you don't want everything explained, because then it turns into one long exposition. So,
Yeah.
so there we go. My bad for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Ugly.
So my ugly,
You could find something ugly about this beautiful movie. How dare
actually, kind of, but it's also just a, yeah. My ugly would probably be yeah, you know.
What do you?
I don't think I'm. You guys are one to talk here about that. So.
That's true.
You're one of us.
Apocalyptic.
There we go.
Yay! No, so my ugly though would have to actually be in relation to your bad, because of the fact that the sky itself. I kept thinking that it was almost like they were doing a bad attempt of Earth trying to go into light speed.
Oh yeah.
Because of those
It
different
did kinda,
balls of light moving by, and you know, coming
Oh,
from
at the
one
Detroit's, at the tidal wave scene.
And
Yeah.
so yes, because there was the balls of light going through the sky on top of the aurora borealis, and so it basically just kept looking like we were attempting and then kind of failing and attempting and then failing again with light speed. Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not fair. It's not my fault.
That's what it looked like to me, but that's I would say my ugly is, just because it was like one of those things that it didn't fit in. I mean, to the rest of it, in my opinion, like I can see the aurora kind of going on that, but it felt like that was like, oh, let's add something more shiny in.
Well, that's kind of the exposition thing, because up to that point we'd seen the sky doing this weird aurora kind of thing where it was really cool, and then all of a sudden we see these lights going, and it's like, well, what are those?
Exactly, it told us nothing about that.
Yeah,
it didn't tell you.
and
left
then
us
the movie
up
just
for
then the movie
interpretation.
just kind of ended
Exactly.
after that. So
Yeah.
which again, I don't need everything explained, but at least look up and go, oh, it's
I'd like to know if it's an alien invasion or something.
yeah.
Yeah,
something
that's
weird.
at first I was because I've never seen this before. I thought, well, maybe there is some sort of alien
Yeah.
or more
part
missiles.
to this. Yeah,
Yeah.
more missiles.
So okay, Kevin?
Ugly. Well, I would say I thought the worst looking part of the movie was the scorpions. But then again, given when this movie came out and what was possible,
Which the Scorpions were around then.
they were around. The actual band.
They've been around
I think I
forever.
had some ideas for
Invented
music.
slightly before that.
But
We have a winner.
I would say, and again, I feel kind of bad making fun of it because given the limitations and all that, and just how I was so surprised at how much I like this movie, but I'd say the Scorpions. I just think they didn't work as well as they maybe could have.
Yeah, given
And maybe if you can't make them look good, maybe pick something else.
given the. I mean, when you think about it, there weren't a lot of effects.
Yeah.
There were the visuals of the sky, the filters on everything to make everything look orange.
The
or
43
purple.
explosions in the beginning too.
Yeah.
Well, there were a lot of nukes.
Yeah.
But they were all launched from stock footage Air
That's
Force
true.
Base. So. But yeah, given that there weren't a lot of special effects, yeah, maybe they could have
Yeah.
polished that up a little bit.
Yeah. But maybe at the time, maybe it looked fine. I mean, we even nowadays see like a movie 10 years ago with CGI. We're like, wow, this looks awesome. And then 10 years later, you're like, that looks horrible.
Yeah,
And
even-
so maybe back then they were like, that looks
For the
completely-
time, it
that
was
looks
good.
completely
Yeah,
real.
if you look
Yeah.
at Phantom Menace now, there's a lot of stuff where you go, "Ooh,
Yeah.
that didn't look good."
Yeah.
It's not smooth. Things
Or
don't
it's even
land
kind
right.
of cartoony looking.
Exactly,
still,
yeah.
a little bit. Which it was still really good, and at the time, yeah, we were watching and going, "Wow, this is great."
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you're saying.
So maybe that. So
Ugly. Paul Winfield's Pimp Hat.
yeah.
That was kind of scary. I don't know. I can't really pull an ugly out of this.
Yeah, that was hard.
It, I guess maybe, again, and it's not really an ugly, it was just more of just the way everything ended really fast and really,
Yeah.
It was almost like Lost, how they kind
Nice
of just
and neat.
rushed it at the very end.
it did feel almost rushed.
Yeah.
I was expecting more, after the tidal wave. I didn't know how much was left on the movie. I only knew what was going on because I'd read it, like I said. But it seemed like I was expecting more, okay, the tidal wave hits, they float around, and then all of a sudden they're on dry ground. So, okay, the water receded. And then it's just, hey, get that motorcycle fixed. Okay, I got it fixed. And then, we get a signal because
Yeah.
we're already in Albany, and then happy ending. So I liked the happy ending because as a kid, this movie, I would not have watched it as a kid because of the nuclear war part.
Yeah.
But had I watched it, that would have actually put my mind at ease a little bit that, okay, not everybody got incinerated or cancer or eaten by giant scorpions.
Yeah.
So I think not so much an ugly, just as much as a kind of a letdown's a little
Yeah.
a little too harsh, but just
Yeah.
it could have been done a little bit better. Maybe, I don't know, it would have drawn it out a little too long.
Yeah.
Because I think we were just reaching the point where it may have been too long had they put another, we ran across this town and there's crazy people trying to kill us. It's the same problem I have with Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Why I quit watching it, because it was like they'd go somewhere, they'd finally find a place to stay in and feel like they were safe, and then crazy people come and chase them off. And then lather, rinse, repeat. It just kept doing the same thing. And the movie was bordering on that.
Yeah.
So it almost seemed like they kind of in the beginning wanted to make this grand movie and have all these explosions, have these cool, all these filler scenes. And then after, like we had said before, they kind of realized that they'd done too much.
We got to film.
Yeah, we're like, okay. So I feel like if they would have shortened that a little bit, they
Yeah.
could have potentially made more, but also that leaves more room for them to potentially make more bad.
That's true.
Well,
So-
but more to the point, it would leave room for them to put another scene in that is just a repeat, because that's what it was starting to get to be.
That's true.
We run into people, or we run into a situation. It's like, okay, what situation now?
Yeah.
Giant bunnies,
Yeah.
what? So I guess the ugly actually was there for a purpose.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
But yeah, this movie it's hard to find anything bad or ugly about.
Oh
it.
yeah, definitely.
Like Kevin, I was kind of hoping, but expecting some badness, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
There wasn't even really any bad acting.
No, the acting was fine.
Even the kid, he could have been really, really done badly, and they did really good with him. The hillbillies, maybe.
Yeah.
The giant beards and stuff and
Yeah.
everything. George Peppard's accent was pretty atrocious.
Yeah.
Because it went off and on.
I wish he would have just not had an accent.
Yeah. It would have been better had he not had anything, rather than he had it sometimes, and sometimes it was really intense, and then sometimes it would go away.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Although I did get a kick, a little hee, when he pulled up, I think, in it was when they first pulled the Landmasters out, and he popped out of the top, and Jan Michael Vincent and Paul Winfield are down there, and he's got the cigar sticking out his mouth, and it's just the 18 theme just all of a sudden started up.
Yeah.
So, all in all, though, a good movie.
Definitely.
Would you recommend it, Tim?
Yeah, would recommend.
Recommend?
Yeah.
Would you recommend seeing it to check it off your list, or if you've already seen it, seeing it again? Or both? Or D, all of the above?
I would say I would recommend, if it's one of those things that you have just slight interest into it, even that would be something that it's not one of those that I would say go out of your way to find and watch it, but definitely one if you come across and you have the extra time.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a waste of your time, so it's good.
Kevin?
I bought it on Blu-ray just for this podcast,
Yeah,
and
we've
I'm really
bought
glad I
a
own it
lot
because
of
I'll
things on
definitely
Blu-ray
I'll
that you
definitely
should.
watch it again. Yeah, this is one of the ones where during the movie I remember thinking like, I'm actually going to watch this for fun sometime.
Yeah.
Like not just,
Is
it
that-
wasn't just something to.
I think we both bought movies where we're like, we're just buying this and we're only going to watch it one time ever, like Last Jedi.
and you just take the hit.
Believe it or
Yeah.
not, Monos is one of those that I actually watch for fun.
Yeah.
I have the Mystery Science Theater version
Yeah.
and the one that with them.
We,
So.
have it on
we
Blu-ray.
are a sick bunch.
Yes, we are.
Yes, I would definitely suggest, if you haven't seen this, go out and see it. If you have seen it, revisit it.
Yeah.
It was just good, and after the beginning, it doesn't drag anywhere, and
Yeah.
just I would go see it.
Yeah.
Good post-apocalyptic movie.
And if you end up watching it, let us know what you think.
Yep.
Hey, wait a second. Where are you coming in here taking over and telling people what to do? You're the guest.
I mean, it's been a while and you've got your first comments, so I'm going to try to help. Yeah. Obviously, you're not doing something right, so.
Well, we had to bring in the younger, some fresh
Younger crowd.
blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we get the teeny boppers in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Even though you're not a teeny bopper.
No, not at all. I am not teeny nor a bopper.
A bopper.
And on that note, Kevin's got his finger up and he's
I've never
grunting.
done this before.
Oh,
I would like to dedicate this episode to Jan Michael Vincent, who died almost exactly 1 year ago today. But within a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But very close to a year ago.
Okay, close enough.
And had a neat career and then really tragic life, and probably kind of his fault, but still kind of sad. But dedicate it to him because he was really good in this movie.
He was. Here you go. Jan Michael Vincent.
Jan Michael Vincent.
Empty bottle.
I hold up my bottle that's already over in the camera. All right.
And so on that note, if you want to get a hold of us, valleylodgeproductions@gmail.com.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, you're already on our YouTube page.
Yeah.
Go there, subscribe, so you can find out when we do this again, which
Will
is
be
usually monthly.
About 1 month.
Yeah. Except for November when we kind of forgot.
Yeah.
Or didn't forget. Things happen. And let us know what you think.
Yep.
Give us some comments, Brandon.
Tim's friends.
Tim's friends, yeah. All the friends that will be listening.
Yeah.
All the crowd that Tim will bring in to listen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And let us know if you liked it.
All right.
Yeah.
And on that note, see y'all.
Goodbye.
Bye.